Hi everyone, so following on from the spanner card video that I did recently, I wanted to do the spanner card but do it the other way around because I thought that it works quite well the other way around. So this is the spanner card but the other way up, portrait version, and I've done it for a male. So you've got that on the front, you open it up, so you've got that little flap there, and then inside you've got space to write. So yeah, so I'm actually using the autumn background papers from Antonio Makes. If you use Louise10, code Louise10, then you will get 10% off your order. So this is a digital kit, and then so this is from his kit, this is from his kit. This and the bit down the middle is actually from my stash stuff that I was given. It's years old, I've no idea where it's from, something like Kanban or Hunky Dory possibly, something like that. But yes, it's quite a good card, really easy to make, super quick. You can knock a few of these out. So yeah, so I thought I'd do a mail one because I know sometimes you struggle with mail cards. I know I do. But yeah, really nice. Just a bit different as well. And there's all sorts of things you could do. You could move this bar. You could have it on here if you wanted to. You could have a thing going that way. You could really do whatever you want with it. So yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so for this card, you basically need exactly the same pieces you need for it be landscape, except for I've changed the size of this. Well, actually on this card I haven't, but I'll give you the new measurement for this because I just think it needs to be a bit bigger. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, you can probably see where everything goes. I'm going to go ahead and stick my mats and layers down after I have done the scoring. So this time around I'm not using a card blank, I'm actually just using a piece of 7x10 card, and I've gone ahead and scored it halfway at 5 inches. So now I'm going to bring in my craft mat again and my ruler and my pencil. We're going to measure along this top line and mark at 1.5 and at 5.5, and we're going to do the same along the bottom. So we're going to measure, mark at 1.5 and at 5.5, and then we're going to bring in the metal rule and my craft knife, and we're going to cut down those lines like this. And I thought this time around we might have a little bit of fun because this is actually a mail card, and I'm not that keen on mail cards. I find them a bit boring, as I think most of us do. So what I'm going to do is we're going to fold and burnish, and I probably should have folded and burnished before I cut it, but I didn't. So there we go, we have what we have. So we're just going to go for it anyway, and this is going to go here like that. Okay, so there's your, so we did it this way around, didn't we? This is the way we did it before. So we're actually going to turn it around and do it this way around. And I'm going to put the supporting bar, the spanner piece I guess it is, I'm going to put it central and put things in a slightly different place to what I did last time. So what we need to do is I'm going to have a go and round some corners. So I'm going to round off this top corner here. Okay, so round off the top corner. I'm now going to do this bottom one here. And I'm also going to do this bottom one here. Now for obvious reasons I can't do this bit here, but what I'll do is I'll just round off the actual mats and patterns when we get to it. And the same with this bit here, I'm going to round off this one here as well. There we go. Right, so now we're going to go through the patterns and the mat layers. And I'm also going to round off this bottom edge as well. Let me round this bottom edge off as well. Like that. Okay, so for the inside, we'll deal with the inside first. You need a matte layer that is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. You also need 2 pattern pieces that are 1 inch by 4.5, and you need a white piece of card. Now I've changed the measurement. This is actually the old measurement, but I think it's better if you use a new measurement. And this is 4 by 4.5, and it just means then you haven't got as much of a gap between the pattern and the message piece. So I'm going to go ahead now and just round these corners. I'm going to do it as we go, otherwise I know that I'm going to forget. So let's just round the opposite corners off. There we go, like that. So that's going to go in there, and then we're going to have a piece of pattern paper here. So I need to round this corner off here. and the opposite corner. There we go, so that's going to go in there, and we're going to do the same with this one. Okay, so that's going in there like that, and then we also need to round this one off as well. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick the matte layer down, and also stick the 2 patterns down, stamp my greeting and stick that down as well. Okay, so I've stuck all the inside bits down. So if we just close the front again. So on the front, you are going to need 2 matte layers that are 1 1/4 by 4 3/4, and 2 pattern layers that are 1 inch by 4 1/2. And then you also need, for the middle bit here, you are going to need 1 matte piece that is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, and 1 pattern piece that's 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and punch all of our corners again. So we need to make sure we punch all the corners, round off them all, and make sure they're all done. Because many times I have gone to do rounded corners, and then I've actually forgotten to do it. I've forgotten to round the corners. So it's very important that we remember. Okay, so I've gone and stuck my main layers down. So now it's time to put them onto the front of our card. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to stick these onto the front. Okay, so now I've stuck all my layers down. It's time to do the strut that goes across the front. Now I'm going to do a cream piece, but I'm changing it up slightly because before I did it at 1 1/2 inches, but this time around I'm doing it 1 1/4, and I'm going to do it 1 1/4 by 7. So I've got this, which is obviously 1 1/4 by 7. I've got a mat, which is 1 inch by 7. And then I've got this strip, which actually came with this, and it was a pack I've been given. And I think it was a Hunky Dory or Kanban or something along those lines from many years ago. But it's just a little bit too long, but it's fine. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on so that it's straight. And then I'm just going to trim the ends off. It's a bit of a shame because you lose the gold on the top and bottom, but whatever, that's how it is. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick this down onto the base layer, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick this onto the matte layer. Okay, so I've gone ahead and matte and layered that piece. And it's quite good. I'm quite impressed with that. So I'm now going to put this bang central in the middle there like that. So I'm actually going to just turn it around a second. So I'm just turning it around because I wanted to see where I'm going with it. And I think that is about central. You can always measure it if you're not sure, but that looks about right to me. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and on the back here, I'm just going to mark with a pencil where my cut lines are, so I don't glue over the top of my cut lines. And this time I'm going to add some red tape instead of wet glue, and I'm going to stick it down. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stuck that down, so that bit obviously opens up, and then this is separate. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this on top, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to raise this frame up slightly, and then I'm going to raise that up again, like twice as much. And then I've got a little happy birthday, which is going to go on, probably coming off to the side that way, probably, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these on. Okay, so I went ahead and I stuck down the bit on the front. I thought I was doing it on, I was filming it, but clearly I wasn't. So anyway, but yeah, I just stuck it down. Just use some pads, and so that bit opens up, and then obviously you've got this bit here, and then you've got your place to write in the middle. So it's nice and easy to do. Stands on your desk like that, and obviously sometimes this bit wants to open. Sometimes if you stand it a bit more, you get like a 3-layer effect. But yeah, like that sort of thing. But yes, it's quite a cool card. Nice and easy. Folds flat for posting. Apologies for the noise in the background. My neighbour is hammering. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And we will see you next time. Bye!